Hi, welcome back to Your Own University TV. My name is Lisha Antica, and today we are going to talk about the difference between mental injury and mental illness. This is a question that was brought on by Kimberly Marooney, so thank you so much for giving me this question of what's the difference? What's the difference, and why is it so important for us to understand this difference so we can know when we can fully heal and when we need to learn those coping skills to take care of ourselves for the rest of our life.
Join us at Your Own University. Like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. You're not going to want to miss a bit of this.
Okay. Kimberly, thank you so much for this question. This is why I got into the field of psychology, because I want to know that there's an end to my friends and my family that have been struck with pain because of this thing that triggers something, and then we're like, we're taken apart. So do you know somebody that has been affected by depression or anxiety or PTSD that gets closed up and stuck in areas where they can't move and they can't breathe and they can't think straight because a long time ago they had something happen to them? Because a long time ago, they didn't have the coping skills in order to get through a situation, and so it created a mental injury within them. And had you or your friends been told that you're gonna have to deal with this forever and ever, that it is a life sentence, that you're gonna have to be on the pills, that you're gonna have to go to the therapy, that you're never ever really gonna be happy, have you believed this story? Because if you have, or if you know somebody that has, then this video is for you. So what is mental injury? I just told you. Mental injury is when something happened that triggered a response in your body because you didn't have the coping skills to deal with what was happening around you. It could be a move across the country. It could be your parents got divorced. It could be abuse of some sort. It could be years of a negative relationship that you were in. It could be one evening and one event that happened. Doesn't really matter what it was. It really doesn't. It was an event that caused a reaction in your body that now continues until you heal that injury, right? Mental illness is very different. Mental illness is a personality disorder. It is a awareness. It's a chemical reaction in your brain. It's usually hereditary, and it can be caused to get into effect by an event. However, most of the time it doesn't go away. It is now something that that person gets to deal with for the rest of their lives. For instance, schizophrenia, bipolar, any sort of dysmorphia. These are things that are part of a person's personality. Now, doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with this person. No, it just means that, like diabetes or another ailment, that person gets to learn how to cope with and manage their slice of disease, their slice of their life, right? It's no big deal. I have great friends that have bipolar. I have great friends that have diabetes. They were born that way. You can call all of those things that we learn how to cope with, that we live with, that we can't do anything about. So an injury is something that we actually can do something about. You actually can heal. And oftentimes those injuries are caused by an event. So PTSD is something that you can actually heal. There's methodologies that can help retrain your brain back to how it was before the injury occurred. Depression oftentimes is triggered by an event that then we can heal, and then we shift the patterns and relationship and stories that that person tells themselves in order to actually manifest different things in their lives and no longer be depressed. Now, so is anxiety. Anxiety is a relationship to the environment around you. It's the fight, flight, or freeze being like a triggered and a high alarm. You can calm the nervous system and the endocrine system and the limbic system and the grounding reflex systems of the physical body where anxiety manifests, and retrain the brain into a different story so you can heal. right? And you no longer will need to actively, daily, moment by moment, practice coping skills when your brain is rewired. So the good news is we have a whole science around how to heal from the brain to the body, and how the body and the brain work together in order to manifest healing, how to manifest our whole lives, actually. And with mental injury, just like physical injury, excuse my cat, we will eventually be well enough that you don't need to think about it all the time, really disassociate with the labels at all. I think one way that we get really hung up in staying in a cycle is really defining ourselves by our illnesses, our ailments, and or circumstances. And in order to get over those hurdles in life and manifest something different, we have to stop saying, oh, I've suffered from this, I am that, and define ourselves in a way that who we want to be. So that would be the next phase of your healing, is to decide, well, if I'm not depressed, who am I? I'm happy. If I'm not critical all the time, who am I? I'm positive. I'm not nagging myself and thinking negatively. How am I thinking positively? And lean into who you want to be instead of owning the victim story that it really boils down to. Next thing to understand about mental injury is that you can heal. That you can heal. There is a possibility. There's a big lie that you're going to need therapy forever, or you can get triggered again, and it has to be this repetitive thing. Once you accept where you've been and you're ready to heal, you can stay well. You don't have to go backwards. But it's about just accepting, oh, well, I have a tendency to get that cold. So if you know, for instance, this is a physical thing, but if you know that you have an immune system that just loves to get the flu each year, or loves to get a cold, and then you can take the precautions that you need to make sure that you manage your own health, using hand sanitizer, right? Or taking your extra vitamin C so that you can be physically. Same goes for mental injuries. You do things to know, well, I'm prone to depression in the past, so now I'm going to do things that fill me with pleasure. Now I'm going to go through my gratitude list every day. Now I'm going to, whatever those coping skills that you learned in therapy, that's what you're going to do, right? You can think about therapy for a mental injury like you would a physical therapist, right? For a physical injury, or like a little bit of support from your chiropractor for a physical injury. This is a beautiful way to think about it, so you're not taking that life sentence. I hope this answers your question, Kimberly, about the difference between mental injury and mental illness, and how you can really learn how to cope and deal with mental injury and move beyond it in life, so you're not stuck in the life sentence. If you have a question for us, go ahead and leave it in the comments below, or PM me personally. Check out our master classes and daily doses of love at Your Own University so you can live your best life. The world is waiting.